Hello, beautiful ones. Oh boy, I wanted to do a video regarding a video that I just saw. It was earlier today, and I saw a video from Amberlynn Reid. And it was kind of started off kind of serious, her talking about just, why she hadn't been around and the problem with trolls and, things of that nature. And I gotta tell you, that young woman gets trolled so much. And I have noticed that just basically every single one of our community of um, supersized BBWs really get trolled a lot. And I think that they hide under the guise of them not liking them for something else, but it's just a way to bully them because they're fat. I truly believe that. I believe that it's the only way that they can mock and harass and bully fat people because they can do it in real life, but it's just not, your face is seen doing it in real life, and people, they don't take that anymore as much. Of course, it still happens every day, but that's what I'm kind of thinking because it's they are just normal people living their lives. And Reid gets trolled so much. Yes, I understand what people are pointing out and why she does. And again, I will say the answer to that is always don't watch. Don't watch. The answer is not, I'm going to watch and troll her. The answer is don't watch. I think that Amberlynn Reid is a beautiful young woman inside and out. I can relate to her problems. I can relate to the fact that she's ashamed of things and why she would have hid some things. I can relate to that. I think most people who have become supersize obese, along with just the regular, obese or even regular fat, chubby people, can probably relate to that. But there's something that happens when you become that size. I was that size before. My top weight was 485 pounds. And there is some pictures. I did find a couple other ones. And there is one floating on out there that I've actually shown in a video a long time ago. And so I'm going to try to get those together because I just want to do a show of my life then and my life now. I am still morbidly obese, but I've kept and maintained a couple 100 pounds off since then. So now I can sit in regular seats. Now I don't get looked about. Now I can go into the regular fat people's shop and buy clothes, and I can fly regular, don't have to have a seatbelt extender or all that kind of stuff. But as I've been saying for a long time, I really do want to be I want to be in what do they call that? The Wonderland when you're in the 100s. I do. And I think I'm going to get there because I'm not really even trying, and I'm slowly but steady losing a little bit of weight. So, watching you guys, you girls, have been sort of motivation because you're just really focusing on what you're eating. And that's motivation. Now, I want to congratulate you, Amberlynn Reid, for the amazing 51-pound weight loss. I was cheering for you. I just could see the happiness in you. And I did happen to see, now that's why I put, what is her name? Cupcake Vegan for Life. That's her name in here. Because I've noticed that she does the critique of these beautiful young women who are doing their weigh-ins and things like that. And I just happened to not like the style that she does. It comes across very cold. And I know that she's, I believe her accent kind of sounds like she's from someplace else. Don't know, just saying that maybe it's her accent, the slight accent that makes it sound like that, or maybe it's her personality, maybe it's her technique. Now, she does come across very professional. I notice now she does say a lot that she's not a professional and it's only her opinion. In my little critique of you, Cupcake, please don't say that every 2 seconds. You're saying it kind of, ad nauseum. And I think that she just is not caring. She doesn't sound warm. She doesn't, and it's not even because she's giving you things that you may not want to hear. I just think her critique of Amberlynn Reid, I believe what she was saying about Amberlynn Reid, about if it was working, staying offline, and if offline is doing that to you, to do the weight loss offline. I do agree with that there, because I think that online is really tough and you can't do anything right. They're going to say you've rigged the scale, or you're eating this really, or this or this or this. And it's just, I know on diets, I mean, you're going to fail one day and you're going to get back up. Um, I could talk about dieting and all that stuff, for the next couple of hours, and my thoughts on it. But girls, I'm calling you all girls because you're younger than me, okay? You all were the same age that I was, basically, when I had my weight loss surgery, when I had my duodenal switch, which I think is the only one that people should have now, because you do maintain some of that weight off by the malabsorption. I think when you're that morbidly obese, the chances of you naturally losing weight are, I don't know anybody. Personally, I don't know anybody who is that size who's lost it themselves. Now, I know a lot of people are going to bring up some names and show it out there, and their best friend did and whatever, and yes, but you're wasting life. You will feel so good after you have it, and I promise you that you're going to make it through. You're going to make it through. And what's cool about it, and I've done a video on this before, but you all three have a piece of my heart, because I am you and I was you. So every knock that you get by a troll, I feel, because we know we're in that kind of pack that knows what it feels like. There's certain things, unspoken things, that we all know and we all share. And it's just really a lifesaver. It's truly a lifesaver. If anybody has any questions about it, you please, I can tell you my doctor, I can tell you that I had a revision too, to even shorten the channel even further. It's just, I know a lot of people who have just the regular Roux-en-Y or the sleeve or any other part of that. If you don't fix yourself, there's a very good chance that you could eat right through it, and you could still drink your calories, you can still eat little bits throughout the day, you can still stretch that stomach back out. But with mine, I can't possibly get that far up again. I can't. Like, I'm pushing the limit right now to where I can actually ever really be, because I'm not following directions, because of the malabsorption. And there is not a lot of doctors who do the duodenal switch. There's not a lot. Mine was at the University of Minnesota. He was part of the inventors of this surgery. And the surgery initially was founded for doing, finding help for people with high cholesterol and heart problems. And they realized that this had an effect on weight loss patients, and it can go that way too. So, and there's only a couple of them that do revisions, because my doctor notoriously left the common channel a little bit longer. And so there was always room to kind of cut it down even more. So I had that done because I had gained a little bit of weight and it was just stuck right there. And so now I have maintained that extra 70 pounds off me from before too. I Definitely, 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 because my body is just, breaking down. My body getting older. Before I could do anything, I could walk forever, even being that heavy, and I could, I was very flexible and I just didn't have the problems and I could get up off the floor, no problem. But getting older, I'm older and smaller than I was before. And I'm just having a lot of problems. That weight really, um, just makes it bad. Like getting up off of the floor, unless I have something to lean on a certain knee in a certain way, I'm not getting up. And that's scary because I've fallen before. You're falling and you can't get up. That's very scary. And I'm just having issues. So most likely, and just in my opinion and in my things that I've noticed, you're not going to die tomorrow, most likely, but you will get a lot of health problems and you will live very uncomfortably after 50, after 45. You'll start really breaking down. All those years of carrying all that weight around on you will cause problems, first off, to your knees and your joints. You don't see any fat old people, and you will not be able to escape having completely ruined knees and back and anything, because you're just carrying around all that weight. I've ruined my body by carrying around all that weight for so long. And I hate to see you young women suffering through this when I really know that that's the answer. Now, I can't put my head on your shoulders. I wish I could, because truly, I mean, this is a shallow point, but all three of you are completely gorgeous. Uh, Amberlynn Reid, girl, you're gorgeous now. But honey, when you lose that weight, you are stunningly beautiful with those beautiful almond shaped eyes, that gorgeous, gorgeous hair, just cute features. You are going to be so gorgeous. The same goes for Amy and the same goes for Jennifer. I mean, that would be just fun to see. That would be fun to see, Amy, for your husband. He would love to see that. Love, love, love to see that. And chase your kids around better. And it's all good. And I don't mean to come down on you, Cupcake, vegan for life. It's just that, and I know that you were heavy before. I understand that you had said that. But a lot of things that you're saying right now, I believe that some of them know, and you can't put your head. I mean, I knew everything. It was just I could teach a class in it. It was just the motivation to doing it, and I sure as hell wasn't going to listen to motivation from somebody who was sounding like they're chastising me. To me, you have to use compassion and empathy, and it's not something that they're choosing to do. It's not, and people can say that all day long. Yes, technically they're choosing to do that, but it really is a drug that there has to be techniques to get them to back away with from it. And the biggest technique would be the life changing surgery that I know at your size you would be all approved in a heartbeat. I didn't even have to go through the nutrition classes. I don't know why, but I didn't even have to. I should have probably, but I didn't even have to. And I'm not saying that that's not a good thing at all. All I'm saying is that this is going to take the ability away from you to ever absorb all of those calories, all of the fat. The fat goes right through you. And there are some side effects. We could talk about that some other time to it. But hey, and you lose it so fast. It's so amazing. And I would just love, love, love to see all three of you come this time next year. do a video and say, hey, the Glamorous life, she was the woman who did this video. And I said, let me just try this or look into this. Just one of you guys. And if you have any questions, I know I belong to the support groups. I know lots of people in there. I know the doctors. I know the revision doctors. I know what you do. I know what to expect. It's really, what's great at this one too is most of the people don't have the dumping syndrome, and they say that that is a good and a bad thing because some people want it, so it stops them from actually eating that stuff. But with this, you just can't eat. So I always explain it where people, because I was afraid, number one, of dying on the operating table. I thought that they had never operated on somebody as big as I was. And after I had an emergency C-section the year before that, an emergency hysterectomy the year before that. This is why it's reminding me of Foodie Beauty. I think she's changed her name now. The Daily Chantel. I'm thinking of you too, girl, with this, because you just had that hysterectomy. You were probably the same age that I had mine. And then I saw that I made it through that surgery and I was fine. And that gave me along with knowing my second husband, who motivated me to go ahead and do that, and my father, I decided to go for it, just go for it. And when the doctor explained to me that, me picking this surgery over the other one, because I had the other choice of doing the Roux-en-Y at that time, because you had a little conference and they would explain them. And he said, you want to be able to eat a little more, don't you? And I said, oh, yeah. And because this surgery, you don't have the restricted thing where you have to chew all of that or it gets stuck and all of the mess, because you keep your regular parts when you're swallowing and you're eating. You're not making it go down a tiny, tiny hole. And it's completely reversible if you ever have problems. There was one woman that I know who lost too much and she wasn't absorbing enough vitamins, that they did have to do a reverse on her. But that's the one case I know out of all the hundreds upon hundreds of other stories that I've heard. And this is somebody that I personally did know. She was a nurse at my plastic surgeon's office. And so, there is, like I said before, I'll talk to you guys, any of you, privately about the downsides of it, because they're kind of unique, but nothing that I wouldn't pick every single day. This is giving me motivation now to use the tool that I have, because the tool that I have, if I pick certain foods, it's really the best, because I'm really not going to be, absorbing that, or, there's certain things that you can eat that even help you lose it even faster after you've lost, initially a lot. The other good thing about it is, like the other surgeries, I always thought I would miss food so much. And you do, not now, I don't, but in the beginning, you miss eating those large portions of food. And now it's just like, nah. I did miss going out to eat, because now if you go out to eat, it's, you got to do a lot of waiting, because you can eat after a little while, but you got to keep it hot, because you got to eat little tiny portions of it. And while everybody else is just eating, you're like, okay, I'm done. So but that's just such a small thing. And you're not hungry. So with this thing, I always thought of it as, after you ate a big Thanksgiving meal, the feeling after that of like, I couldn't possibly eat another thing, and you're not even thinking about food. You're like, get it away from me. That's the feeling. So you're not missing it. You're just like, I'm so full. I'm so stuffed. I'm so satiated. I just don't need anything else. That's the good part about it, because you're not missing it, because you've had your full. You've really had your full. And that's part of it too, is deciding and finding out what certain foods you can eat a little bit more of and what you can eat less, because pastas to me are like still a couple bites and it's done, because that starch and the protein in the pasta just fills me up. Now, some other people can eat a little bit more of that, but they can't eat something else. So mine really truly is pasta, and I love pasta, but I have a little bit. I'm looking to get one of those little thermoses that I could keep it in and keep it next to me when I'm like, watching TV or something or online. And I could eat little bites like once every, 20 minutes or something just to eat a little bit more, and it would stay warm in there because otherwise I'm always microwaving it and everything. But that's what I wanted to say. And I hope you took this in the meaning that it was intended, Cupcake vegan. I think that your heart is in the right place and you're trying to do the right thing. And this is just my opinion that you just seem too harsh, and I don't think your words really they don't really resonate when they are said in such a tone. And maybe that's just a tone that you use, but it just sounds so cold. But maybe that's just me because I am a sap and I like to have people speak, really very kind. So maybe that's just me. But I do, I'm sure that people do appreciate you taking the time to give your, I want to say expertise, but you're not, I know you're not in that field. I think that you're a coach or something. So that's good. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys at that. Congratulations, Amber. I am so proud of you for losing that weight. So proud of you for losing that. You did something, girl. You really did something. And to the other two women, I know one of you had kind of a little stall there, a little not lost that much. And then we have Amy who gained a bunch back. And that's really disheartening, but you're still out there, you're still making videos, and you're still willing to give it a try. And so that's good. However, like I said, please consider why you wouldn't do it. What is the reason why you wouldn't do it? I remember all the reasons I gave myself, and they were all bogus. And I knew they were bogus. The reason I didn't want to do it is because I didn't want to stop eating. I didn't want to give up that ability to eat. And the other really big one was I was afraid of the surgery and that I was going to die. I really was. I really thought I was. But after it went successfully, and I had such a huge cheering section too. I had such support at the time that it was really easy, to do it. And I would recommend it to anybody. I really seriously would, because like I said before, it's next to impossible for super morbidly obese people to lose weight and keep it off, because you've got so much. To become that size, we've obviously have a huge problem where it's not just like losing a little bit, and it's life-saving surgery is what it is. So with that, I'm going to leave you. My emails are always listed in the description box. Please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. I would love to cheer any of you on and to give you any, I don't know, like tips, because I'm doing this myself right now. But for you guys, because I've been where you are, and I can completely relate to any story that you have about any problem that this causes and what you're feeling right now. I really can. I could probably tell you it before you even mention it, because I know all of the feelings. And doing it online, I got to hand it to you though, that would be very, very difficult. I don't know how you girls are doing it online with just the toxic temperature of fat people online, where it's just a safe haven for us to be just completely attacked over and over and over again. And that's all fat people. I've seen some people attacked and they're just like a little bit chubby, and it's just, all out bashing. And it's still relatively okay. I mean, if you had somebody up there who was like a person of color or a person with special needs, and they were trolled like that, you'd have the internet after them. But it's still really safe. You don't have the internet going after people for attacking people for being fat. And I don't even want to get into the conversation about, it's a choice. You're doing it to yourself. People like that are just ignorant, and they haven't walked a day in our shoes, have they, girls? They haven't walked a day in our shoes to see how much we're choosing this. And Amberlynn, your video made me tear up right along with you when you were describing everything and how you feel. And I took it completely different than Cupcake Vegan took it. I took it as completely honest and very sincere. When I've watched you before in the past, and maybe you had some little, you know, fibs, little lies, I never thought that they were that big of a deal that the whole internet had to attack you over. I just think it's a safe thing to do right now. I could go on and on about that, about really targeted bullying that goes on to you. I've seen some of the reasons why and what you said, and it's basically a nothing burger. It's just a reason to attack you. And if they don't like you, they don't have to watch you. There is no excuse for it. And I'm really just tired of you getting the blame for this. You are who you are. You're not out there going out there and trolling and bullying and harassing other people. You're just making videos on your channel. And, you know, I think a lot more people feel like I do. I think that it's just a mob mentality. And, you know, you leaving the comment section open, which I applaud, because you know what, you get those views by that, or you get that, what is that called, that like the algorithms are better with that. So, you know, hey, I wouldn't be able to read it. I would just have it there and let them go at it. Let all the trolls go at it in the cesspool. And if you just read some of the stuff that they say, it's like, my God, who are these people's parents? Who are these people are probably parents too to somebody else, and they're just sneaking over there saying the most vile things. So, anyways, there's a lot of people who have your back, Amberlynn, and you've made reaction channels a popular thing now because of you, of watching you. So, you got to be doing something right, girl. You got to be doing something that they like to watch, and it's not just the watching the train wreck things out there, as they say, because there's a lot of train wrecks out there. You have, you just have a cute personality, and I think people actually are secretively wanting you to succeed. So sorry, I paid so much more attention talking to Amberlynn this time. Her video is just fresh in my head. I do remember watching your video too. Um, Jen, your channel name's changed, so I didn't know what to call you, but I see how it was with you too, and you're taking ownership of not doing exactly everything as you should do, and I think that that's great. And you're doing it live, or you know, on video, and you're not hiding yourself. You're showing your whole body, weighing in, and I think that is just commendable. I really do. And Jen, you were taking the brunt from people. I know that there was some like little brouhaha about some picture or whatever you were showing, or you know, you got busted for something. I don't know what it was. It's all internet, you know, internet mushagas. But you know, you keep on getting back up, and you too have a positive way of trying to talk to people. You know, I know that sometimes people call you out for things, and I know how that feels. I get the same thing like that. That's why I know that in your heart you really want to try, and you believe everything that you're saying, and you're not doing it for some malicious reason to just lie to people. It's just that, you know, it's hard to stick to things sometime. And Amber, I know that that's said about you too, and I know that for myself and for so many people, you really are in it. Your heart is in it, and it's hard to stick with it. It is the biggest obstacle in our lives. And I think that we just need to support each other and give each other positive affirmations. And, you know, if you have an opinion that's critical about what somebody else is doing, there's a really nice way to say it. And only if it's something really huge, Do you say it, I mean, in public, at least? If you want to say something privately, that may be different, but okay, I have been chatting on here for 29 minutes now. I hope that my message got through to you girls, and I hope you enjoyed the little pictures that I put up here. These are some of my favorite chubby girl art. I love chubby girl art. I have a lot of fat girl art. I just love it. I love that now we can have so many more artist representations of full size, beautiful, juicy women. Because I've always said, I don't want I don't want to wave a magic wand and suddenly be thin. I would love to wave a magic wand and be just chubby. I would love to be the 5'6.5" that I am right now, and maybe 175 pounds. I want to keep some of that juiciness because I actually quite like it. So, anyways, I will talk to you girls later, and thank you for listening to me. Have a great day.